What up, guys? Your boy Quake, and Drake has responded to the allegations of him getting a nose job. Yes, that's what we're talking about here. I know it's like gossipy talk, but Rick Ross decided to diss Drake. Initially, what happened was the Drake diss track leaked online. People were speculating it was AI or was it Drake. Eventually came out that it's actually a Drake diss track, and in that track, Drake clowned Rick Ross and said basically all your hits came from me, which is true. If you actually look that up, that's true. And then he just clowned him and said, listen, like you're 50 years old and you're over here beefing about dumb things with me. And then Rick Ross, with the quickness, within like 3-4 hours, released his own diss track called Champagne Moments. And on that track, he basically called him a white boy and that he, wants to be more white. He got a nose job to make it more white looking. And, he just said he got a BBL and got his abs done and taken fat sucked out of his stomach and stuff like that. So a bunch of stuff clowning him and even talking about, you have ghostwriters and, you're not really who you say you are and you're not really that gangsta, blah, blah, blah. And you were grateful to be around us and how Lil Wayne gave you your swag, so on and so forth. Drake has responded to the Rick Ross diss track. And he responded in probably a funny way. Honestly, I thought it was funny. And, 50 Cent decided to get involved in between it as well because 50's been very active and an instigator in a lot of this stuff. And then Rick Ross responded to Drake. So what did Drake say after the diss track? He posted on his Instagram story a conversation that he had with his mom on text messages. And his mom caught wind of all the Drake nose job headlines, surgeries, all those headlines that were happening because of Rick Ross. And she texted him and said, "Obs, the internet is saying you got a nose job. You look the same to me in the kitchen today. I can't believe you would get one without me." And with a little like covering face emoji said, "'Cause I always wanted one. Don't tell me that you got tattoos without me and now this too." She put a question mark. Now, Drake responded with a bunch of laughing emojis and said, "I would have gotten us a 2-for-1 deal if I went, ma." It's coming from Rick Ross, the guy I did songs with. He's gone loopy off the Marjanro. He hasn't eaten in days, and it's turned him angry and racist. He's performing at proms for money. It's bad. Don't worry, we'll handle it. And then he tagged Rick Ross and said, "You're one nosy goof." And that was hilarious, man. Just saying, Rick Ross is angry and, hungry and that, he's performing at proms for money, which was true because last night after Rick Ross released that diss track, he went that night to perform at a prom. So he's clowning him there saying that, he needs money just to perform at proms because Rick Ross on his diss track was also saying he's got more money than Drake, which, you can just Google it and know that that's false. But that was Drake's response, denying the claims, of course. And honestly, if you look at the photos, it doesn't look like he's gotten anything done. So that Rick Ross thing, I think, in my opinion, is just gossip talk, just to clown him. Then Rick Ross caught wind of that, posted a story and said BBL Drizzy with a nose emoji, tagging DJ Khaled, and then called him Pinocchio Drake. Now, the funniest thing out of all this, the person who's got the most casualties out of this is DJ Khaled. Like, how is he going to create his next album? I think we're done hearing DJ Khaled albums, or he's going to start featuring artists that are way less of tier because now Rick Ross, Drake, Metro Boomin, Future, everybody's got their own side. They're not going to, work on a DJ Khaled album together. So that's the funniest thing. The person who loses the most out of this is DJ Khaled. And then Rick Ross continued and started clowning him some more in some videos on his Instagram. Rick Ross also, while performing at that prom show that night, wore a t-shirt with Drake's face on it. And then he posted that on his Instagram and said, "Whose nose?" tagging Drake and said BBL Drizzy. He continued that on his Instagram stories and responded to Drake. And this video is hilarious, man. Rick Ross is funny at times. I can't help but laugh. I mean, he called Drake BBL Drizzy as well as Cupcake Drake. Is just something else. So check out the video.
Oh, it's such a beautiful day. Me waking up from a nap, I just realized BBL Drizzy called his mommy on me. He shared their text messages between each other. Cupcake Drake, tell your mama you stayed out past your curfew, white boy. You wanted to hang at the park with the niggas, smoke weed with the niggas while we washed our old school Chevys. White boy, you got a Chevy, white boy? I doubt it. But anyway, big nose. Boy, you had 25% body fat with a carved out 6-piece. Stop. We know what time it is. That shit costs 40 bands. Stop. But tell your mama, well, in Miami, we say old girl. Tell your old girl she a beautiful lady. I told you that before, and I meant that. But you tell your mama, white boy, you stayed out at the park too late, and you can't call her when you get in this shit. This shit too deep to call your mama, white boy.
That I'm telling you, Rick Ross is funny at times. It's ridiculous. He said a 25% body fat with a carved out 6-piece. That is just, I don't know. The only Rick Ross can come up with like words like that and just say it in such a funny way. And then I think, to be honest with you, I think this Drake and Rick Ross thing is probably going to settle. The dust's going to settle with these two because, I mean, he just complimented his mom and just said she's still a beautiful lady, blah, blah, blah. Tell her I said that. So I think it's just funny talk back and forth. So I don't see these two having beef down the line unless it's something really serious behind the scenes. And if the beef really started over what Rick Ross says, which is Drake not clearing a verse for French Montana, then it's not really anything serious. The Kendrick and Drake thing is like actually serious. These other people are kind of just casualties and people that are in between. At least that's the way I'm viewing it. Continuing on.
To the luxuries of life. I might write a song today called Who Knows? Who knows? One thing about, I'm going to say this. You niggas with them BBLs, you niggas, I'm speaking specifically to you niggas with BBLs. If you got a fake body, you got a fake mind, nigga. Leave that shit to them cute bitches walking around in YSL heels. Not you bitch niggas in OVO, the pastrami posse.
After that video, he posted something on his Instagram story and said the bridge of your nose somehow got smaller, BBL Drizzy, and tagged Drake and then hashtag white boy, which I really don't see it, but I mean, that's what Rick Ross is speculating. Following that, 50 Cent got involved. And 50, of course, has some history with Rick Ross and doesn't like him at all. They're still beefing. They don't like each other one bit. And 50 posted the text message that Drake posted. And in the caption, he says, Marangero makes you hungry and racist. We don't need this shit. Take it off the market. LOL. Which is a funny caption, man. I think he's having fun with this. There is speculation. DJ Who Kid posted a photo, army photo, and said coming soon. More coming soon. It wouldn't surprise me because DJ Who Kid is somebody who really, really wants 50 to get back into music. Every time 50 does an interview with DJ Who Kid, he talks about, hey, I want you to drop new music. When are you coming out with new music? I wouldn't be surprised if somehow Drake gets 50 involved into this. If the Drake and Rick Ross beef is actually real. Like if it's serious, Drake will probably somehow drag 50 into it. And 50 wouldn't mind doing it. That's just 50's never liked Rick Ross since they started beefing, and he doesn't care about joining a side. But I mean, 50's also cool with Kendrick and Aftermath, so that's another thing there. So who knows what's going to happen, but that's the back and forth. Drake has denied it. Of course he would. And Rick Ross is still clowning him. So we'll see what happens moving forward with Drake and Rick Ross. Right now, do not get distracted. The main show is Drake versus Kendrick. Kendrick started with Like That. Drake responded with the Push-Ups diss track. So we'll see where we're going to get there. And we'll keep our eyes posted on if anything else changes. That's it for today's video. If you guys want to support this channel further, you can do so at patreon.com/diverse mentality. For just $3 a month, you can get my videos uncut and raw the way I intended them to be, but couldn't because of YouTube. Plus, you also get access to our Discord community, where we have a great community talking about hip-hop and various other things. It's very dope. So only $3 a month. I'd really appreciate the support. Also, follow us on social media at QuakeGW and at Diverse Mentality. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.